The Scandinavian or center counter with starting moves 1 e4, d5 is a great opening for the active black player. White's only appealing move is e takes d5, after which the black queen may find itself in the middle of the board on d5 after capturing the white pawn. Having the queen out early is contrary to the opening principles. However, the Scandinavian is one notable exception to this rule. Main variations in Scandinavian defense include classical variation and modern variation. Let us check the main ideas and plans for Scandinavian defense. After e takes d5, black has two main options, queen takes d5 and knight f6. Queen takes d5 is called classical variation. White's main move is knight c3, developing knight with tempo. d4 and knight f3 are also playable. Black has three main options, queen a5, queen d6, or queen d8. We recommend queen d6 for black as it is a bit more active than on d8 and queen a5 can run into some tactics from white. Here, white's main move is d4, taking more center control. Black can play knight f6. After white plays knight f3, black has options like a6, knight c6, g6, or bishop g4. But we recommend c6, a useful move controlling d5 and b5, preventing white bishop and knight from jumping there. It also creates a retreating square c7 for black queen. Later on, black can put bishop on d6, where black's queen and bishop battery can put pressure on white's king side. After white's common move knight e5, black can play knight b d7, challenging and trying to exchange white's active knight. White can either reposition knight to knight c4, support with f4 or b4, or retreat back to knight f3. Although white has more space, the position is playable for black. Now let us check to knight f6 called modern variation. In this variation, black opts to play knight f6 instead of queen takes d5. It allows black to develop a piece before capturing the pawn and to potentially exchange their knight with knight c3, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, and queen takes d5. The exchange of the knight also gets rid of white's main threat of knight c3 to the queen on d5. So instead, white can play 3 d4, giving back the pawn but occupying more central space. If black plays queen takes d5 after knight c3, it will transpose to classical variation. Black normally prefers knight takes d5. If white plays c4, black can retreat knight to f6 and later strike in the center with c5. White's main move is knight f3. Black can play e6, g6, or bishop f5. Bishop g4 also looks attractive, but it doesn't achieve anything as white can easily get rid of the knight pin with bishop e2 and kick the bishop on g4 with h3. The game can proceed as e6, c4, knight f6, knight c3. White has more space, but black can fight. With these main ideas and plans under your belt, now you can prepare and practice Scandinavian defense from white or black side. All the best.